Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. So this is on From the Depths. I posted a couple things on this game way back when. They seem to do pretty okay. Um I think I only placed like maybe 2 or 3 videos on this, but today I'm gonna be showing you pretty much everything I have apart from things I don't really need to show you. Specifically uh like the testing grounds, I don't really need to show that stuff off because they're just testing grounds that we have. Um, and also the movie theater, which is now useless because, well, before you could actually like use YouTube in this thing and actually like watch movies off of it, but now it's completely useless, unfortunately. Which is kind of sad. But we're still keeping it as a memory. but, but, we are going to look at every ship that I have, and now granted, a lot of them are not done or going through refits right now. Uh, the hull, for most of them, the hull is actually done, but the weapons are not. So just keep that in mind. But for this one is completely done, known as the Gruxy Grandmother. Now this one, it might look a little familiar because it actually is, well, it's actually part of the game. It's just refitted in my design. So the things that are different about it are, well, it used to have like battering rams, but we there was no point of really having that. We still have some of the remnants of the rams on it, but there's really no point in it as, well, if we were to get to a ship this fucking close, well, goodbye, Mr. Cannon. So, yeah, so it's not really that good. We do have, kind of, it's kind of outfitted with a bit of like, buoyancy of like wood and like, what is this? I think it's stone or something, or rubber, maybe not rubber, but basically, I know it's a good buoyancy option that we had for this thing because its buoyancy was pretty bad before we got our hands on it. All things considered, anyway. And yeah, so we also like these side things right here weren't the same. Uh, they were two different things basically. Like I think the one had like a weird like propeller like right here. We kind of changed that all into these little rafts now. This honestly we don't ever really use this ship anymore, but this was my first ever ship that I took on like from the enemy, and we used it against them. And this was like our first semi decent sized ship, basically. Um, as you can tell, we also have a huge cannon on top. It's outlayered with metal and armor. Uh, we got the ER ERA armor here for dealing with explosives. And yeah, we just got these crab cannons. Really, it only has like 4 guns. It's not really that big. It can't really haul that much. It can only hold 48,000 resources. It's a very basic ship, but I still love it just because of it being my first ship. But let's move on to another one. So I'm also gonna be renaming them. I want to let's see if I even can. Uh, no. What I could do instead, I could just save over top of it. I want to name it Tier One, as I'm gonna be putting tiers on this thing. So this is basically Tier One, the lowest of the low, basically. Like I said, it was just a redesign of an already built in-game built ship from the AI. And I'm pretty sure it's from the Deepwater Guard or something. I don't remember. I think it is from Deepwater Guard or something like that. Uh, but yeah, that's what this ship is. So I'm just gonna delete this one because we got a lot to go through. So we'll just get rid of that guy, and then we'll just go back onto the raft for now. All right, so while that thing's deconstructing, we shall now look at. So these are. I'm just gonna get rid of this because this is the same thing. I just renamed it. So we will do that. There we go. And then, yes, so this one may look familiar. This is the project. Now, this was kind of a goofball project. Um, we just wanted to build a ginormous. Now, you guys remember this thing. This thing was the missile carrier that we built way back when. We never completed it. We never really knew what to put on it. It was more of a joke more than anything. But unfortunately, we never got around to fixing it. There we go. It's kind of leaning over a bit. Yeah, there we go. So it actually has no way of realistically moving. Has no way of realistically moving. Uh, and we just never really knew what to do with this thing, just because it's so. I mean, it was like I said, it was more of a throwaway project. Um, a kind of a goofball project because we just want to see how many missiles we can have. And just seeing how ridiculous we can make these fucking missiles. It's just so funny to actually see in combat. Just seeing this behemoth of missiles just, you know, being used. It was very funny to do at the time. And it still remains in my arsenal because of the fact that it just brings back good memories. And it's just really fun. But will it ever actually realistically be built and used in the campaign? Probably not, because it is so insufficient for doing something like that. We don't think that this will ever do something like that, especially since I mean one fight would probably drain everything of resources, because these missiles alone are well over 20,000 resources per shot. So yeah. So this thing is a mass hog. This thing takes a lot of resources, but it is, for all intended purposes, very beautiful, just because of how many missiles it has and just how over the top this thing really got. But we might complete it one day, but it won't be with it. Probably wouldn't have missiles all over it like it does now. We'll probably scrap these missiles more than likely. Probably most of these missiles, and probably just replace it with like lasers or something. Realistically, as lasers would be much more effective for this thing to have. And probably have to relayer this light alloy to something else. But at the same time, maybe not, because of the fact that it does need to be able to fly. So, yeah. So, whether or not this thing actually does get complete is very much in question, but it is beautiful to look at, nevertheless. Now, this thing I would classify as probably tier 3. Um, yeah, probably tier 3, I'd say. Nothing too over the top. It's, but it's definitely just fun to look at. And especially since it really can't even, well, it really just can't do much. Uh, but yeah, this was really just a throwaway project, to be honest. Alright, so I'm going to delete all vehicles just to get it quickly out of the way. The next vehicle we have on our lovely list is the Speedster. Now, as you can probably guess, it is fast. Let me tell you, it is pretty fast. I don't remember if it actually. Oh yeah, look at this thing go. Now this thing is its only purpose is to realistically just go fast. Um, Now I do think there was something that went wrong with it. I think I'm actually not controlling it properly. I think it has to do with something like. Oh yeah, because you can. It's supposed to propel out of the water like this, and then lunge into the ship and just chainsaw the shit out of it with these very powerful drills. Um, that's like the kind of the point of its design. It's supposed to be able to jump out of the water, lunge into a ship, and then fucking just saw the shit out of it. That's kind of the point of this thing. Um, so it's not. I just not realize this thing has thrusters, but it doesn't even have any energy storage, which is probably the. Actually, I might need to change that real quick. So let me just uh let me get some resources and then get a. Yeah, we'll get one of these things. Can I place it anywhere? I don't even know. let me give you a water real quick. I'm pretty sure this thing is like full. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, um, here, let's do this. Make a little adjustment for this thing. And we probably don't even need that actually. Well, uh, we'll have a little bit of regeneration. How about that? I mean, fair enough, really. This thing's really not meant to be that special. It's really just a small little thing, so it's not really, yeah, it's not really that powerful. Uh, let me just, okay, cover this thing up. I might need to get rid of, yeah, there we go. And then I'll need a 3. There we go. Something simple like that will do. Uh, I think is it 4 right here? Yeah. Okay. I need 2. Yes, sir. It's, it's about right. Actually, what I could do instead, um, I think I could just do. Let me just put this like that. That'll do it. That'll be good enough, I guess. I don't really know. Like I said, this thing's really not meant to be. Let me just see what it does now. So, uh, yeah, thrusters are. Well, actually, the thrusters work without it. Right. Interesting. I guess I guess I just forget what the thrusters use because it doesn't. It's not using. It's not using these things. Huh. I don't know. So maybe I don't need this. If I get rid of both batteries, does it still go off? Yeah, it does. Okay. Well, I guess I don't know. I guess I don't need this. Okay. I guess I don't remember what these things actually use. We'll just clear that out, but yeah, that's what the whole point of this ship is just to drill into a ship. And that's basically it, though. I guess I'll just delete that. Alright. Anyway, this thing, I believe. Let me just. I don't remember what this thing is actually. Oh yeah, and this is tier 1. Oh yeah, I need to spawn it back in. Shit. Okay. So this ship would be considered tier 1. This is like my second ship, I believe. Something like that. I want to say. Uh, okay. So we'll just delete this thing real quick, and then load in starter killer. I don't remember what the hell this thing is. I don't think it's complete. Okay, yeah, it's not. Yeah, I think we were just starting to put weapons on it, like plasma cannons on it, but we never got around to actually doing that. So this thing is supposed to be like the early game ship. A very simple design, but it would be very effective. The reason why it's so big is because, well, it's not really that layered up, but it has all these different pockets, so it kind of like sheds its armor like a snake, essentially. Um, so eventually it would be pretty strong. It has a decent amount of resources on it, and yeah, it's it's a pretty simple design though. It's pretty. I think it's pretty fast too, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just see if I remember correctly. I think it's pretty fast for a ship this size, anyway. Yeah, yeah. But okay, so it's not as fast as I thought, but it is 10 meters a second, so not bad, I guess. Okay, so we will get rid of that now. So that's, like I said, all these vehicles are not complete. They're just being outfitted right now. Uh, there's no, I'm not gonna be able to specifically label what tier this would be. Well, I guess real quick, if I had to guess, this would probably be labeled as, I would probably say tier 2, probably, if anything. Okay, so next vehicle we have on our list, I'm gonna get rid of this thing. There we go. This thing is actually fully complete. This one is actually fully complete. So this one is my one lovely tank thing. I built this way back when. This was my first, like my first initial big, heavy, well, heavily armored is a better term for it, I suppose. Um, Ship, or I should say, tank. So this thing is supposed to go with a fleet. Um, this thing's very good for just traversing, both land and sea. Uh, but yeah, it's a pretty old design, so it looks pretty. It definitely does look pretty outdated now, but it is pretty. It does its job basically. It has simple weapon systems for negating missiles a little bit. It's layered in armor, pretty good amount of armor. It's a pretty good design. I still love this thing. It's one of my personal favorites still. I do want to refit one to be smaller because this thing is actually too big on land. I might have to like readjust how the tires work because there's some areas on land like I could beach this thing on land and do some work with it, but other times it's like there'll just be like some mountainous terrain. I just can't do anything with this thing, so it's kind of ups and down. It has its ups and downs when it comes to terrain movement, but I mean, it does its job as good as it can for its size. It's a pretty good sized tank. It has pretty heavy firepower. It's a giant ass cannon, and it's just very durable. It's a very good vehicle to pick up for durability. If I had to label this thing for its tier level, I'd probably label this thing as probably just tier 2 though. The reason why I'm maybe labeling them is because I need to get a better understanding of my own designs, basically. And yeah, so that's what this thing is. Our next thing on this list is going to be, I keep pressing this wrong one, the Titan Cargo. I've shown this off before, but let's just go into detail of what the hell this giant behemoth is. So this is the Titan Cargo coming out of the water. Look at him. Oh my goodness. He's a big boy. Oh yeah. There he is. Yep, so this is the Titan Cargo, which this thing actually does have pretty decent speed, especially for its size. Uh, Yeah, this thing's massive. So, as you can tell, it's heavily layered in armor, and it is just absolutely fucking massive. It's like a giant whale of the sea. It goes 24 meters a second. Actually, I think it might go faster than that. But this thing, for its size, it can fucking zoom. It has, I, its turning is not too great because of its size, but well, we're about to hit the. I think we're going to hit the barrier of the map probably. So we're going to turn around, reverse speed, boys. But yeah, this thing, what it's supposed to do, it doesn't have any weapons on it yet. And I don't know if we ever will put weapons on it because this ship was more of a. Well, I kind of just built this for fun. I wanted a cargo ship, and I kind of went pretty insane for how big it was. The cargo is actually deep inside the ship. Um, Basically, I think it's beneath the entire ship, isn't it? Oh yeah, there it is. Yep, it's beneath the entire ship. So yeah, it's buried. The cargoes and shit's like all buried under here. But as you can see, it can hold 74 million resources, 121 million energy. This thing can hold a lot. Let me tell you. Um, which is kind of impressive. It has that much energy too. Holy shit, very fucking big. Um, but yeah, this is what the Yamato or this the Yamato, the Titan cargo is. I did show this off before, but I wanted to show it off again because if you guys have any suggestions of what this thing should become, let us know. That'd be kind of because we don't really know what to do with this thing. Like, it's a massive ship, has plenty of resources. We don't know what to do with it though. We have some ideas, but nothing has really come up to be official yet. Really, I mean, we're kind of thinking of just putting like a massive cannon that just covers this entire thing, but we really don't know. We've been kind of making up random shit about what to do with this thing. But the next ship we're going to be looking at today is going to be the last and final ship we have. Oh, yeah, I forgot to label that thing. Well, we don't really need to label it though, just because. Now, this thing, as you may know already, is the Yamato. And this is my pride and joy right here. The Yamato, to this day, remains the most tankiest ship that I have, apart from one, which I will not be showing in this video, but that's what the Yamato is though. Um, the Yamato was my first ever complete uh ever since I started the Titan program. We call it the Titan program because of all my massive fucking ships. Um, Ever since I started that, we've this is like the first ship that ever was complete. Uh, Unfortunately, now though, to these days, it doesn't have many guns on it. We pretty much stripped it of all its weaponry, mostly, uh, because we started putting more advanced weapons on it. As you can tell, these weapons are definitely not the same ones you guys saw when this thing first launched. But this thing is still just a beauty to behold. I mean, just look at it; it's so fucking gorgeous. Um, we actually did layer this thing up quite a bit since last time. I used to have like a weird. I used to have like shit behind here. Like I used to have like a bunch of cannons down here, but it kind of became useless because it was under the water. So I just placed it with all of this, and it acts like a. It acts like basically a snake now. Um, yeah, literally for the front, you literally have to go through that all this, which is heavy armor, and then go through this and you gotta go through all of this just so you can take out these missiles. Which now that I think about it, these missiles are pretty much useless now. Oh yeah, I got rid of those missiles. That's right. Yeah, the missiles are gone now here. There used to be, yeah, this used to be a missile bay right here. This used to be a torpedo bay where we fire torpedoes out, but it's now officially gone. Um, but this room, this is how far they had to actually hit to even get to the generators. Uh, pretty, pretty a big amount of armor considering there's also this snake armor I call it. Uh, it's basically having to shed its skin. You gotta shed the skin of the Yamoto to actually reach the importance of it. And even when you do, there's more on the other side. There's more in the main bay. Like there's all the resources of this ship are vastly spread out. So yeah, that's one advantage Yamoto definitely has over other ships that I have in my arsenal. We are also building a shield generator here. I don't know if we ever actually completed it, but we did build a shield generator. We have the steam engines, of course. I don't remember what the hell these things were protecting. Oh yeah, they're protecting more resources. Yeah, this was protecting more RTG batteries. So like I said, you got RTG batteries over there. You got RTG batteries here. You got more in this thing. Which this is the hardest part of the ship to actually reach because of the fact that it is just. I mean, it's literally in a box, in a boat, while also being surrounded by snake armor. So yeah, while also being protected by the deck itself. If you try, like, you can't shoot from above, hardly. You can't shoot it from the side. The only thing that's gonna really take this thing out is a railgun. Like railguns are really the only thing that can really take out the Emoto, and it has to be powerful as shit. And you also need to know where to exactly to hit. The most lethal spot to hit would be in this room, obviously, because this is where the AI is, as you could maybe guess, because of the amount of EMP resistant blocks there is. But yeah, this is where the AI is. It is just fucking cramped in here, though. Let me tell you. Yep, it's literally surrounded by all this shit. Just completely surrounded. Yeah, this is all that remains of the Yamoto, though, for firepower. Just these two guns here, these two anti-missile guns here, basically, and then these laser guns, which are supposed to hit missiles as well. And then you got some in cases right here. It just looks cool, so we never got rid of them in the ship. It just looks so good how it's just fleshed into the ship. We couldn't get rid of it because it just looked cool as shit. But yeah, that is basically the Yamoto. The final ship, and I will save this real quick. This is labeled as Tier 5. This is a Tier 5. The Titan cargo probably labeled as Tier 4. Um, but yeah, the other ship though, well, that remains to be seen. As you can see, it's a work in progress as well. The reason why I don't show that one off though is because, well, it's gonna be for another video, to be honest. So, depending on how well this one does. So, thank you all for watching. I hope this was somewhat enjoyable seeing all my crazy creations, and I hope let us know what you guys want to see from the Titan cargo. If you guys have any suggestions of that ship, we really don't know what to make it out of. If there is anything to make it out of. But yeah, until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.